Coming from Australia, Australia finally decided to cut immigration, and 50% of immigration migrants who move to Australia from overseas are students. And first step, student fee has been increased up to $1600 Australian dollar, almost more than double. Similarly, immigration workers, skilled workers numbers are going to be reduced. Reason is that Australia is thinking that economy, which is currently Australia a little bit at downfall, and housing crisis. This is because of the migrants. Inflation increased in Australia these days, and therefore the student fee has been increased that only genuine students will try to come Australia, and after their study they will go back and they will not try to settle here as a PR holders. Now currently Australia also, like other countries, is in a victim of inflation, and people are talking about cuts in immigration. Australian nationals have dual opinion. The Australian nationals who are Australian native, Australian born mean Australian native, they are telling that this inflation is because of the migrants, because migrants are allowed to come to our country in too much extent. I think similar stance US migrants, native migrants, were talking about the illegal migrants. So Australian citizens who came from Asia, from Africa, from other parts of the world, and they settled there and they became citizens, their stance is something else. They are telling Australia is a very strong due to migrants. These were the migrants. They were very professional, they were very hard workers, they were enthusiastic, they were skilled workers. They came and they worked legally, they have no any criminal record, and they played a very important role in GDP and economy of Australia. And if anybody is thinking that inflation is due to the migrants, this is absurd and wrong, because inflation is a question mark throughout the world. US talking about inflation, United Kingdom, the developed countries are talking about inflation. Canada is expecting a lot of financial problems due to the housing crisis, and Canada is also cutting migration these days. So these are the two opinions from the different individuals, different type of the individuals in Australia. What Australia government is thinking, Australia government is talking about a cut of migration. They want students who are coming to Australia, they must reduce in numbers. In first step, they increase the student fee. As I told you, $1600. So only genuine students will try to apply, because there is a threat that Australia student visa fee will be lost, because if the visa refuse, Australia comes among those students, among those countries in which a visa fee is not refunded. I think what Australia and Canada currently doing, they are doing a battle against migrants only. Inflation is the problem of all over the world these days, due to wars, due to some policies of superpowers, and there are some problems of dollars and economy and businesses due to some other troubles as well. And they are going to be restrained, they are going to be reinforced, they are going to be recovered in the coming days, coming months, when Australia is a very developed country and there is no any harm. And even flooding, I remember a harsh flood in which houses were damaged, and almost financial loss ever we can expect in any country, not expect any country than Australia to do. And after some days, after some months, like Japan, they recovered a lot. Look, did you see tsunamis coming in Japan, and Japan recovering so much quickly? I don't think Australia will be victim of inflation. It's matters for developing countries like Asian countries and African countries. Therefore, to take stance that migrants are elsewhere, this government took a little bit battle against the migrants only. I think if they are going to reduce migrants, it must not be highlighted in their statements. They must do it silently. There is a website, there is a channels by which they can speak through their national TV channels. If they are speaking in social media and they are marketing that migrants are evils or migrants are something else, there are already prejudice in Australia, little bit, but there is prejudice. We can't ignore. And the people who are coming from Asia, they are always in trouble in there. Of course, they got facilities, they got money, they got business, they became national, they are very superficial life than Asian countries, they have very rich life, they have wealthy lifestyle, but at the same time they feel prejudice as well. Therefore, if you are thinking that by this announcement the migration will decrease, migration will not decrease. I think 2 points are very essential for Australian Department of Home Affairs. Their migration system need a little bit revolution. I know revolutionary system must be the part of all migration system. USCIS, IRCC, Department of Home Affairs Australia, Home Office UK, Portugal Department of Immigration, AIMA. But problem is only one. Australia think that our system is a such system of point-based system. People copy our system, and our system is transparent system, and we allow only genuine people to enter into our Australia. But things are clear that ministers are talking about, government is talking about, that some people who were not suitable and who were not genuine, and they entered us in Australia, and their numbers were more in the last years, and due to which housing crisis caused due to migration. If these are the facts, never mean that a system don't need improvement. I think cutting off migration would not be the solution. Only migration numbers must remain the same, but assessment system like trade recognition Australia, which profession they are going to assess the people who are entering Australia through those skilled tests which normally take professional department of Australia, and the companies who offer jobs, those professions are required in Australia or not. I really like a Canadian immigration system in the sense they are always going to improve their occupation list according to requirement. I am watching Australia occupation list, not much improvement, and they always think laborers are much necessary. The bakers are very necessary. Similarly, some fixed professions, I think they must talk according to requirement of Australia. If they will talk about Australia housing. Currently, I did not. Yes, there was one plan, but I did not see a highlighted program of construction engineers, laborers. They are educated, skilled. There are much educated persons who are laborers in Asia, especially. They are master's degree holders, because due to lack of jobs, they started their laborers work, and they are very experienced. They are educated as well, electrician, plumbers. Why these people are not going to be migrated to Australia? They are not being jobs. When they will work for Australia, and Australia will grow, and housing crisis will finish. Thank you very much.